Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Thursday night. Tonight, the political landscape here in Washington is on the verge of very big change. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is stepping down from leadership after a historic 20 years. The longest-serving Democratic leader in the House, Pelosi became the first woman to wield the Speaker's gavel back in 2007. First elected to Congress in 1987, she's been a trailblazer, but also a lightning rod for Republican critics. And the announcement comes after her husband was brutally attacked last month, and she was allegedly the intended target. There's bipartisan agreement about her legacy, too. President Biden called Pelosi the most consequential speaker in history. Even former Republican Speaker Newt Gingrich said you could argue she's been the strongest speaker in history. CBS's Scott MacFarlane will start us off tonight from Capitol Hill. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Nora. Speaker Pelosi says she will continue representing San Francisco in Congress next year, but for the first time in 2 decades, she will not be a party leader. It's an historic announcement, but also one with a profound, immediate impact here. With Republicans set to take control of the U.S. House in January, Nancy Pelosi, the outsized political force for a generation, said it was time for her to step back.
For me, the hour's come for a new generation to lead the Democratic caucus that I so deeply respect.
The announcement comes just weeks after a violent attack against her 82-year-old husband, Paul Pelosi, in San Francisco, allegedly by a conspiracy theorist who was targeting her.
For my dear husband, Paul, who has been my beloved partner in life and my pillar of support, thank you. We're all grateful for all the prayers and well wishes as he continues his recovery.
The current Democratic leadership, all in their 80s, are now making room for a new generation of leaders, potentially including Hakeem Jeffries of New York City, who could become the first African-American party leader in congressional history.
It's always good for a party to have new blood and new invigoration.
They'll have to contend with a Republican majority which plans to aggressively investigate the Biden administration, including what they see as a politicized Justice Department, as well as the president's family.
Was Joe Biden directly involved with Hunter Biden's business deals, and is he compromised? That's our investigation.
Pelosi, who's led House Democrats since 2003, was swarmed by colleagues, some in tears. The first ever female speaker, elected twice, is a prolific fundraiser and vote counter, having steered passage of then-President Obama's Affordable Care Act and key parts of the Biden agenda. She also famously clashed with Donald Trump.
That's not the point, Mr. President.
Once mocking his State of the Union address and tearing up his speech to the delight of fellow Democrats. Congresswoman Jackie Spears said the party's leadership was losing an incredible talent.
She will go down in history as the greatest speaker that this House has ever had.
Republican leader Kevin McCarthy, who's seeking to be the next Speaker of the House and who's frequently clashed with Pelosi, was not in the chamber as Pelosi gave her remarks today. Nora?
Interesting. Scott MacFarlane, thank you.